Well, if you were one of the many who probably turned off the Gildan New Mexico Bowl about a minute ago, you missed one of the best comebacks in Arizona history. So far this young season, Cats head coach Sean Miller kept talking about his squad finishing games. Well, tonight, that finally happened.
George Savaricas, who broke this story. George?
Guys, some big news today. The News 4 Sports Department has confirmed that Arizona running back Kadeem Carey was involved in an incident on the early morning of December 23rd. Ryan, this was a game you had to see it to believe it. The Wildcats overcome a 16-point deficit in the second half to force overtime on a very questionable call at the end of regulation. And that's not 8 to 900, that's 8 to 9,000, they're saying. And he's saying they don't have a track around it, so you can expect 4 to 5 deep around this football field. Enough already, I can't take this. The Cardiac Cats, again, supposed to be a cakewalk against Utah. Well, they go down to the wire in another thriller at the McHale Center. Of all the highlights and post-game reaction after the break.
This was a great Saturday if you love Arizona.
You know, I'm still in shock. I think Arizona fans are still pinching themselves wondering, did that really happen? Both the football and basketball teams pulling off improbable comebacks to get 1-point heart-stopping wins. You can debate for hours which was the better game. You can't debate which game had the bigger impact in the rankings. Now to some tragic news we touched on early in our newscast. Empire Junior quarterback and wrestler Grayson Weeks died last night in a car crash on I-10 near Benson. Weeks was the starting quarterback for the Ravens this past season, leading them to an 8-3 record and a playoff berth in Division IV. He was also 15-1 on the year as a wrestler. Weeks was 16 years old. We'll have more sports after this. For Weeks, Cards head coach Ken Wisenhunt has been scratching his head trying to figure out how to stop this losing streak. Should he start John Skelton or Ryan Lindley at quarterback? Be more conservative or more open on offense? And so on and so on. Turns out all he had to do was play the Lions. The Bird Gang showing their support for the victims of the tragic shooting in Connecticut. You see the SH. Matthew Stafford and the Lions came in losers of 5 straight, and their tailspin continued tonight. What's happened to Stafford this year? Another meltdown. He's picked by Patrick Peterson. That would lead to the go-ahead score. Later in the second, Stafford again picked off, this time by Rashad Johnson. He's taken it 51 yards the other direction for the touchdown. Arizona's defense, the story in this one, they're up 21-7, 24-10, fourth quarter. Detroit driving. Stafford tosses his third interception right into the hands of Greg Toller, and Toller's going for a nice leisurely 102-yard Sunday jog as the Cardinals snap their 9-game losing streak. They beat down Detroit 38-10. To the Windy City, Bears-Packers. Green Bay could clinch the NFC North with the win at Soldier Field. Aaron Rodgers to James Jones. Ties this game up at 7 apiece in the second. More from Rodgers right before the half. Again to Jones, sticking with what works. They connected for 3 touchdowns on the day. Bears fall the rival Packers 21-13. Green Bay clinches the NFC North. Sunday night pigskin. 49ers-Patriots. You caught it right here on KVOA. And this was a crazy, crazy game. San Fran ran out to a 31-3 lead. New England would tie it at 31, only to give it right back. That's Michael Crabtree with what would prove to be the game-winning 38-yard touchdown. 49ers win 41-34. That game, the reason we went on 20 minutes late, because it took about 3.5 hours. Yeah.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Well, those are the inspiring words of former North Carolina State head coach Jim Valvano at the 1993 ESPY Awards 8 weeks before he died of cancer. This week, ESPN is hosting their annual Jimmy V Week in his honor, raising money for cancer research. And Jimmy V Week really hits home here locally with Arizona senior Kevin Parham. Here's his story. When Arizona senior forward Kevin Parham steps onto the hardwood, one thing really stands out: his shoes.
Well, I like to be different. I don't want to join the crowd in anything. I like to be myself.
But that only tells part of the story. To understand the rest, you have to know his mom, Lisa Williams.
My best friend. I mean, you know, she was tough for me when she needed to be tough. She was, you know, a friend when she needed to be a friend, and she was also a mother when I needed to.
During Kevin's senior year of high school, Lisa was diagnosed with breast cancer.
I couldn't even tell. We was having conversations in the hospital like she didn't even have cancer.
Going into his junior season with the Cats, cancer once again reared its ugly head. This time with his grandma, Edith Williams. She passed after her own battle with cancer. A few months later, his mom would also succumb to the horrible disease, passing away after her 3-year fight with breast cancer.
It was tough. It was literally up and down. It was like a roller coaster.
You really don't understand the effect that something like cancer can have until it happens to one of your best friends.
After enduring a tough junior year, both on and off the court, Parham came into his senior season happy and healthy. Number 3 came up with a simple idea to honor his heart with his speed.
I got him, and then I was like, I'm gonna wear him for the season. You know, the pink obviously represents the breast cancer symbol and everything, so I wanted to stand out and be different.
Though his mom and grandma are gone, they're not forgotten. His pink shoes serve as daily reminders.
I stand out when I wear them. I stand out for a reason.